So the first two finals of the day going to players from Indonesia. And it's the second time this year Indonesian players have taken two titles. The first was at the Korean Open when they took the men's singles with Anthony Ginting and the mixed doubles as well. Obviously, with Nishimoto losing in the men's singles, it's no longer possible for Japan to win both of the singles titles. That's never been done. They have contested for a fourth time here today. They have contested both of the singles finals. So Tai Tzu Ying is up next, the world #1 against Akane Yamaguchi. Of course, the last two finals involving players from Chinese Taipei. And if the players from Chinese Taipei were both to win, then that would be the first time ever that players had won two titles from their country, Chinese Taipei. Well, as far as the Super Series standings are concerned, even if Tai Tzu Ying wins today's final, she cannot overtake Akane Yamaguchi, so they will remain 1 and 2. The 3 and 4, I beg your pardon, the 4 and 5 will change places. Ratchanok Intanon and Pusala Venkata Sindhu will change places after this week in Paris, as indeed will the two Chinese players. Chen Wufei will go down to 10 and He Bingjiao will go up to #9. Well, as far as the draw is concerned, from quarter-final onwards, we had 6 different nations involved and 6 seeds. 2 players from Korea, 2 from China. At semi-final stage, it was the only discipline where we still had 4 seeds left in. 4 different nations, as you can see, and that was the 7th time this year. This is obviously the 10th Super Series. And that equals the record for the number of times the women's singles has had 4 different players from 4 different nations involved in semi-finals in a calendar year. So if it happens once again during the last 2 Super Series events, that will be a new record. So it is Tai Tzu Ying, the world #1, looking for a 4th Super Series title this year against the #5 seed Akane Yamaguchi. So Tai Tzu Ying, the world #1, winner of the first 3 Super Series tournaments that she played this year. It wasn't the first 3 Super Series. She missed India, but the first 3 she played, she won. Her opponent, Akane Yamaguchi, her second final in 2 weeks. Was beaten in the final a week ago by Ratchanok Intanon. It is, in fact, her 3rd Super Series tournament final this year, because she was beaten in the final of Australia as well, losing out to the now world champion, Nozomi Okuhara. Tanua Karapat, Rampart, and Jan Andersson from Sweden is the service judge. So this will be the 9th meeting between these 2 players, and honours are shared. The last time that they met each other, though, was in the semi-final of the Australian Open, and obviously with Yamaguchi losing in the final, she won on that occasion. That was 37 minutes only for that victory, 21-19, 21-12. Well, Tai Tzu Ying, the 23-year-old from Kaohsiung, is enjoying her 48th consecutive week as world #1. This is her 17th Super Series tournament final, and she holds the record as the youngest ever finalist in a Super Series tournament. She started the Singapore Open back in 2010 as a qualifier. She started as a 15-year-old and turned 16 on finals day. There you can see she had a tough first round against Chen Xiaoxin, beat last week's winner, Ratchanok, in the quarterfinal, and then in the semi-final, the number 7 seed, last year's winner here of the French Open in 3 games. So the youngest ever finalist at a Super Series plays against the youngest ever winner of a Super Series title, because Akane Yamaguchi won the 2013 Japan Open as a qualifier at the age of 16 years, 3 months and 16 days. So 2 record holders battle it out for today's title. 20 years of age, she has been world number 2 a total of 13 weeks across 2 different spells, but is currently number 5 in the world ranking. Now, she beat in the second round the beaten finalist from 2012, and then had a marathon match in the quarterfinal against the number 3 seed, Sung Jin Hyun. Saved 2 match points at 18-20 down before winning in 1 hour and 19 minutes. In the semi-final yesterday against the number 2 seed, the world and Olympic silver medalist, Pusala Venkata Sindhu. It was 14-all in the first game. She promptly won 21 of the next 23 points, going 21-14, 14-2. In the second game. It was the most extraordinary run of points I think I've ever witnessed. So as we once again look at our court officials for this women's singles final, Tai Tzu Ying trying to win a 4th Super Series title this year. Akane Yamaguchi hasn't won a Super Series for just over a year. The last Super Series title was the Denmark Open a year ago. Well, there's been 5 players in Super Series history that have won 4 Super Series titles, or even more, in a calendar year. Xi Jinping, Wang Yihan did it twice, 2009 and 2011. Li Shuirui,
ladies and gentlemen,
and
on my right,
Marin.
Akane Yamaguchi, Japan. And on my left, Tai Tzu Ying, Chinese Taipei. Akane Yamaguchi to serve. Love all. Play.
So Akane Yamaguchi getting the women's singles final underway against the current world number 1, Tai Tzu Ying. What a good opening rally. This is amazing. Yeah, terrific opening rally.
Service over. 1 love.
Well, a player from Japan has won the French Open previously. That was in 2012, 5 years ago. Minatsu Mitani beat Sina Nehwal in the final. The only player from Chinese Taipei to win a title here at the French Open since the inception of the Super Series was Xiao Tianchen. 3 years ago, he won the men's singles and then was beaten in the final the following year as well. Oh, good pressure from the front of the court from Tai Tzu Ying. Both these players so quick around the court and both so skillful.
Love.
That is a delightful little net shot from Tai Tzu Ying. Good judgment.
5 love.
Well, both players are using every inch of the court, pushing the other to the back, bringing them forward. Backhand cross-court clear, that's amazing. There. Finally, the first point on the scoreboard for Yamaguchi.
1-6.
Yeah. Force the short left with a good net shot.
2-6.
This one. Now you can see her feet well inside that double service line, which indicates the lift was short. Delightful. My goodness me. Look how far in front of that front service line this drop shot lands. That's an indication of how tight it was to the net. And to play that from the back of the court is simply amazing. Oh, it's landed well in. Well in. My goodness, what was Yamaguchi thinking there? Yeah, I can tell you she had a little look back towards her back line from her ready position there, just to get her spatial awareness.
10-2.
Well, we had a masterclass in the men's singles. Looking at the moment like a masterclass from Tai Tzu Ying. Brilliant. 11-2, the advantage at the mid-game interval. Only 5 minutes of this final has been played.
To play.
Yeah. dominant mood at the moment, Tai Tzu Ying. Well, Tai Tzu Ying is doing to Yamaguchi what Yamaguchi did to Busala Venkata Sindhu yesterday.
13-2.
Just missed it.
Service over, 3-13. Service over. 14.
Two Japanese players, two different Japanese players have won Super Series women's singles titles this year. Okuhara won the Australian Open. Sayaka Sato won the Indonesian Open. And obviously Yamaguchi is still hoping that she'll become the third different player this year from her country to win a Super Series title. Missed it, and she won't do it like that.
16-3.
Good judgment.
Service over, 4-16.
So that goes down as a service error.
Service over, 17-4.
Oh, another one goes wide.
18-4.
Yeah, well, I don't think she's going to win this opening game. She's got to play herself into form, though, for the start of the second.
4. 19-4.
Oh, magnificent.
20.
And after only 9 minutes of
4.
play, she's got game point opportunities. It's gone wide. 21-4. Goodness me. Well, the match clock does actually tick over to 10 minutes. Although considering we had a 1 minute interval, 9 minutes of play. Well, Akane Yamaguchi just needs to try and forget that opening game, start anew at the beginning of the second. No, it wasn't for lack of effort, that's for sure. 21-4 in 10 minutes. So So there is one of the winners of winning the singles title. Sayaka Sato was sitting there.
20 seconds.
Japanese teammates here down to support Akane Yamaguchi.
Second game.
Well, if ever a coaching break needed the wisdom of Park Ju-bong, it was that one.
Service over. 1-love.
Nice. See how she comes from above the shuttle with her racket.
1-all.
Watch this. Yeah. Then she's got the options. So many players would come from underneath the shuttle. And you're fairly limited as to what you can do.
Service over. 2-1.
What a drop shot. Oh, yes. And the follow-up as well.
Service over. 2-all.
That's amazing. That wasn't such a bad net shot. In fact, it was a good net shot from Yamaguchi. It's going wide. Yeah, obvious disappointment from Yamaguchi.
3-2. Thank you. 4-2. Fault.
Yeah, nice angle.
Service over. 3-4.
Missed it.
4-all.
Oh, my goodness, that was good judgment. Crikey.
Service over. 5-all.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that was a vicious net cord from Akane Yamaguchi.
6-5.
Yeah, she was trying to lift that to the back of the court.
Service over. 6-all. Service over. 7-6.
Short. Oh, good defense. Brilliant rally. It's brilliant. Oh, don't believe it. Oh, I don't believe. Oh, it's gone wide. What a rally.
Service over.
Oh, that was simply amazing. Got a racket to it and then hit it wide. What an exchange. Look at that. Look at that.
Service over. 8-7.
Yeah.
Service over. 8-4.
No challenge from Yamaguchi. She knows it was wide by a whisker. Off balance when she played that.
9-8.
It's long as well.
10.
Well, Tai Tzu Ying was a semi-finalist last week, which means, yeah, great judgment. Which means she's only played one match less than her opponent, Yamaguchi, over the last 2 weeks. So I don't think that's going to make a huge amount of difference. Fitness-wise, maybe Yamaguchi's quarterfinal against Sung Ji Kung might be a deciding factor, because that went an hour and 19 minutes. But a 3-point advantage now to Tai Tzu Ying. On a run of 4 straight points.
de ces Yonex indiscutables pour regarder. Voirons pour le jeu de la défense en février. L'enfer master pour la ligne. Yonex l'année prochaine, il va nous
11-8. Play.
Le temps de vie.
It's going wide.
Service over. 9-11.
Perfection. Well, she apologises for the net cord.
Service over.
Well, she wants to make it as tight as possible.
9.
Yeah, it doesn't get any tighter than that. Look at that. That's amazing. Super shot.
Service over. 10-12.
Well reached. Oh, well, that's a huge pity from Yamaguchi's point of view,
Service over.
because she'd got Tai Tzu Ying out of
13-10.
position by reaching that one. And look, she's nowhere near being ready to retrieve the next shot. Tai Tzu Ying. Full stretch there. Her opponent's playing the shot, and she was still pretty much at the front of the court. Challenge here.
Akane
First challenge
challenges
of this
call out.
women's singles final. Yeah, it's a great challenge too.
In. Service over. 11-13. Play.
Good clear. Yeah. I don't know whether Yamaguchi
Service
is
over.
extra anxious to try and finish
14-11.
off the rally, because the cross-court clear, they've got her opponent into trouble. That one. And then goes for the winner and makes the error. Yeah, simple put away. Apologises. Yamaguchi acknowledges that apology.
15-11.
Brilliant. How did she get that back? And that. Brilliant. In real trouble. Akane Yamaguchi early on in that rally. And then plays the straight block and plays it to perfection. It's gone long.
Ready?
Yeah, the umpire just allowing both players to have a quick towel down.
Service over. 16-12.
Oh, that's nice. Got a little bit of slice on that smash. Creating the disguise. Took a bit of pace off.
13-16.
Going for placement rather than power. This is just getting better and better. It's not that they just get the shuttle back, these two players. They both seem to get it back with interest.
15.
Well, after a very one-sided opening game, this now is a thriller. Oh dear, that's a shocking serve. That forces the error. 1 point in it.
15-16.
It's a good lift from there. So too is that. Yeah. Well, the tight spinning net shots. Tai Tzu Ying covering the nets. Didn't think it was possible for her opponent to lift that deep, but she did. Just showing how athletic she is. Tai Tzu Ying still gets behind it to play the winning smash.
15.
Oh, perfect net shot.
Serving over. 16-17.
And that hit the top of the tape and just trickled over. 1 point in it. That's a great lift. A good pressure going forward from Tai Tzu Ying.
Service over. 18-16.
Well, when she's been lifting from the nets, Akane Yamaguchi, her opponent, has then got the opportunity to use her deception and her excellent attacking play, which is why she's trying desperately to play back to the net. Oh, good block across court. There's another. Yeah, forced to lift this time. Yeah, that's the problem. But you have to applaud the world #1, Tai Tzu Ying. 4 opportunities to win her 4th Super Series title of the year. Only needed the one. 21-4, 21-16. 31 minutes for the world #1. to add her name to 5 other players who have won at least 4 Super Series titles in 1 year in the women's singles discipline. Well, at the end of last year, beginning of this year, she won 6 titles back to back. It's been an extraordinary year for Tai Tzu Ying. Yeah, she's very happy with that performance, and so she should be. But we ought to also applaud Akane Yamaguchi after a disastrous opening game, due in large part to the brilliance of this lady, for her to fight back and give us such an entertaining second game. All credit to the 20-year-old from Japan. But Tai Tzu Ying has shown us today why she is the world #1. She's a great mover. She's an athletic player. She's got wonderful racket skills. And she is an absolute delight to watch. What a talent. What a good place we are in world badminton with the women's singles discipline. These 2 players, Okuhara, the world champion, Carolina Marin, the Olympic champion, Kusala Venkata Sindhu. So many good players from so many different nations. But today, the applause is for Tai Tzu Ying.
To start with this award ceremony, we would like you to applause the umpires and the lighters of this final.
Pour débuter cette cérémonie protocolaire, merci de faire une ovation aux arbitres et juges de ligne de cette finale. Merci à eux.
And now, please welcome the finalists of the women's single.
Merci d'accueillir les finalistes du simple dames. Les prix seront remis par la directrice adjointe Amazing Thailand, Deputy Manager of Amazing Thailand, Sirima Yuyengaya. Les accompagnés du président de la fédération française, Florent Chaillet.
Women's singles of the Yonex French Open.
Mesdames et messieurs, le finaliste du simple dames des Yonex internationaux de France.
Representing Japan, représentant le Japon, Akane Yamaguchi.
Akane Yamaguchi. It wasn't to be third time lucky in her 3rd Super Series tournament final this year. It was her 5th final in total because, of course, she won the German Grand Prix gold and was beaten in the final of the Asian Championships by her opponent of today.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the women's
Mesdames et messieurs, le vainqueur du simple dame des Yonex International de France de Badminton 2017.
Représentant la Chine, Taipei. Representing Chinese Taipei, Tai Tzu Ying.
A 4th Super Series title this year, and an 11th in total. The 6th player in history to win at least 4 Super Series women's singles titles in a calendar year. Well, it was a wonderful performance in today's final. No wonder a big smile from Tai Tzu Ying.
Once again to all the players.
Et merci s'il vous plaît de faire innovation au podium simple dame de ces Yonex International de France.
So either way, history is about to be made with our last final of the day. Either players from Chinese Taipei will take 2 titles on the same Super Series event, because Tai Tzu Ying has just won the women's singles. So if it's the pair from Chinese Taipei, Li Zhefei and Li Yang, it'll be 2 titles to Chinese Taipei. If Bo and Mogensen win, they will be the first pair in Super Series history to win 4 titles at the same Super Series event, because they're defending champions and 3-time winners. So as far as the Super Series standings are concerned, Bo and Mogensen, whether they win or lose today's final, will go up 1 place to number 3. And Liu Cheng and Zhang Nan, currently at number 5, by virtue of their semi-final, will go up 1 place to number 4. That pushes down Li Junhui and Liu Yu Chen to number 5. So the stark reality is Li and Li at number 6 at the moment, even if they win today's final, will remain at number 6. But that is a qualifying position for the Super Series finals. So as far as the men's doubles draw is concerned, well, by quarterfinal stage, we have 7 different nations, but only 3 seeds involved. 2 pairs from Japan, and in the top, from China, I do beg your pardon, in the top half of the draw, first time ever Super Series semi-finalists Li and Li, who are through to today's final. And in the bottom half of the draw, a pair promoted from the qualifying, He Jiting and Tang Qiang. They were in their first ever Super Series semi-final. But it is the defending champions and 3-time winners, Bo and Mogensen, are in the final, because Li and Li beat the reigning world champions in the top half of the draw. So will Chinese Taipei go home with 2 titles from this French Open this year? Well, the last players from Chinese Taipei to win a doubles title was the mixed doubles pair of Chen Hongling and Chen Wen-Xing.